Welcome to Take the Lead Radio with Dr. Diane Hamilton, where she interviews some of the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, and other individuals who will inspire you to take the lead in your career and personal life. And now, here is Dr. Diane Hamilton.
I am here with Professor M.S. Rao, PhD, who is the father of soft leadership and the founder of MSR Leadership Consultants in India. He is an international leadership guru with 37 years of experience, and he's the author of more than 40 books, including the award-winning 21 Success Secrets for CEOs. It's so nice to have you here, Professor Rao.
Thank you, Dan, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. It's a great honor to be part of your show.
Well, it's my honor, and I'm very interested in your work because you have a degree in soft leadership. Is that what your PhD is in, soft leadership?
I have earned my PhD in soft skills.
Soft skills. Okay, I speak a lot about soft skills, and I was interested in that they have degrees in soft skills. I didn't realize that there was that focus. So that is a very interesting degree. Can you explain? I think a lot of people are confused by what soft skills are. Can you explain what soft skills are?
Yeah, thank you for asking this question. There are many people across the globe, still they don't have clarity about soft skills. So whenever I deliver training programs, especially in India, the one who speaks fluently, they are expert in soft skills. So like that, emotional intelligence is soft skills. Then again, communication skills are soft skills. Like that, people talk. So to clarify all the things, I wrote an article and got it published in ASTD, American Society for Training and Development. That is T&D journal. So I have debunked the myths about soft skills because people call it with different names. Basically, soft skills are all about your personality, attitude, and behavior. And these are all interpersonal skills and non-domain skills, which are very much required from janitor to the CEO level. And nowadays, most of the corporates, they started realizing the importance of soft skills, and there are some corporate giants who are conducting soft skills training programs. And even these soft skills training programs are embedded into this leadership training programs in some of the business schools or some of the leadership training programs. So it is catching up very aggressively, and it's very much required. People usually think, soft skills are just like, fun like or something of that thing. It's not in that way. Soft skills are very much required apart from hard skills.
Well, in most of the meetings that I attend, I hear people, leaders get up on stage and say they hire people for their knowledge or their hard skills, but they often fire them because of their lack of soft skills. Where do you think people should learn soft skills? Do you think it's something that they should learn in school or at work, or why aren't people developing better soft skills?
So see, there's also a quote somewhat what you said in a different way. People are hired for soft skills, and people are hired for hard skills, and they are fired due to lack of soft skills. Okay. Similarly, there is also one more quote: people get into corporate world because of hard skills, and because of soft skills, they reach the pinnacle of their career. There is also a quote somewhat like that. But now coming to this, soft skills are very much required at the corporate level, and these skills have to be taught at the graduation level itself. So that would be better. So keeping even in India also, what they are doing is soft skills curriculum has been added as part of, it has become an integral part of English language in India. So gradually people are realizing the importance of soft skills, and hopefully by acquiring soft skills, students will be able to get employment, especially the students who want to enter into corporate world. That's one way. And at the same time, the corporate world also, people have to be taught how to behave with others. Women are with colleagues and superiors and subordinates. They must know how to behave. So for that, soft skills are required. when people are equipped with soft skills, there will be less of organizational politics, and there will be less of conflict, and there will be more productivity, there will be more performance, and there will be more friendly ambience at the corporate world. So it is very much emphasized, not only in the educational institution, even in the corporate world, about the importance of soft skills.
Well, I'm curious, in all of your training, have you dealt with anything that focuses on curiosity? I know you and I have had a conversation about my work with curiosity, and some of the things that I think curiosity impacts are the things you just mentioned: productivity, engagement, and some of those kind of, being effective at work. I think having that ability to develop curiosity is very important. How is that a soft skill in your opinion? Is it more of a personality thing? Do you think that we can develop curiosity in other people?
Yeah, curiosity can be developed very easily. But basically, people are very curious. If you look at a child, the child is highly observative, and the child is more curious. And also, the children are more creative. But as they get older, so the creativity level drops, and questioning level drops, and curiosity drops. So people are born with curiosity. Because of the curiosity only, the children, they keep learning and they keep growing. But whereas there are some people who are very curious, and because of that, they keep learning and growing. So it's as one gets older, it decreases. But in rare cases, there are some extraordinary achievers who keep maintaining that curiosity, and they keep learning and growing. So gradually they will be evolving as great leaders. If you look at many great leaders, they keep reading books. Why? Because they are very curious to learn various things. If you look at Bill Gates, he reads so many books. Not only Bill Gates, most of the Warren Buffett. So all these people, they keep reading good books. Why? Because they are very curious to learn how things are happening. Apart from that, they also want to acquire knowledge from other areas, apart from what they are already competent, apart from what they are already experts in. So people have got curiosity, and by birth they have this curiosity. Only thing, it decreases as one gets older, and it will remain in some people who are extraordinary achievers.
When you talk about extraordinary individuals and their curiosity for areas that they're not usually studying, it brings to mind Naveen Jain. And I think you said you listened to my radio show with Naveen, and he is a billionaire leader who has done very well. And what he has told me is that he likes to learn about topics that he knows nothing about, to go into industries and start from scratch, to learn everything he can from a whole new, perspective that he hasn't been taught before. Do you think that we can instill that kind of a level of curiosity in people? I think a lot of people are afraid to learn something new because they think they'll fail, or they assume they won't like whatever it is that we're, the topic, because they didn't like it as a kid, or maybe they think the computer can figure it out for them, or even their environment, their family, their friends, or their teachers just didn't encourage these things. Do you think that we need to open ourselves up to just realizing that maybe what we didn't like when we were young is something that we have to kind of refocus our attention to learn new things in adulthood? How do we open up that ability to be more open to learning new things?
See, and fortunately, let me give you full credit. For the last 4 or 5 days, I have been listening to your podcast. Some of the people I have listened, like Marshall Goldsmiths, that today I have listened to the podcast of Nick Morgan, and likewise, so many Dow Barron, who has also conducted a podcast for me in the past. So like that, I had a great opportunity. for the last 3 to 4 days to listen to the podcasts of various people. And the one you talked about, Naveen Jain, one thing I learned from Naveen Jain is that you can't become a successful leader by acting like a successful leader.
Mhm.
What he said is that one thing I liked from Naveen Jain, that is billionaire, you can be successful by thinking like successful people and by applying the principles of successful people. That's what he said. Not like acting like successful people. That's the one thing I liked in Naveen Jain. Yeah,
Yeah.
and now coming to the point, people need to open up to learn new things so that they'll be able to acquire knowledge from various peers. So
Well, what I meant by that was if you have teachers or friends or family that tells you, you should only like this kind of thing or that kind of thing. I think our environment impacts what we want to try or what we think is okay or popular to do. And I think that so many people get held back by their environment. Did you find that, is that something that you're seeing in India? Do you see a difference? You go around the world and you talk to different groups. Do you see the environment impacts people in different ways in different countries as far as what holds them back from being curious?
see, in India, the typical Indian mindset of the students is that because I worked as a professor for various education institutions in India, most of the students, they learn from teachers, and because they spend most of the time within the education institutions, so they keep learning from teachers and educators, and partly they also learn from their parents, and they learn from environment and society. Now, for the last 4 or 5 years, the Indian students, they are more exposed to this technology, so they are highly impacted by environment due to the technology, because the world has become a global village. They are exposed. They keep on learning online and from various sources. So there is a dramatic shift within the Indian students for the last 4 to 5 years because of WhatsApp, smartphones, everything. So what happened? These people, they started learning online, and by googling everything, they are learning. So now, so what I would like to say is that the process of learning has changed for the last 5 years within India. Of course, the same thing goes even in America and other European countries where the people are highly advanced in terms of thinking, intelligence, and the way they approach to the solutions. But the one thing I find is that what I would like to feel is that no amount of technology can replace the teachers and trainers. That's what I tell to the students. You can learn online many things, and you can learn certain things from by environment, but teachers and trainers can never be replaced in this world. That's what I emphasize with my students. That's what the message I carry everywhere.
Have you ever taught any online courses? Have they all been in-person traditional courses?
No, I never taught online. Mostly, I was invited to various webinars and podcasts. So like that, I keep sharing my knowledge, and I uploaded some of the videos, and I keep sharing my knowledge. But I have never conducted online courses. But I think you are very smart in conducting online courses, and I listened to the podcast which you have conducted for Steve that Steve Forbes, who has also endorsed my books in the past. I think you worked in Forbes school, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, I
Am I right?
was the MBA program chair at the Forbes School of Business. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you have done that, but I have never conducted any online courses as on today.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, if I get any offers, I'll be conducting in future.
Yeah. Well, I think that online education has really changed a lot since I
Yeah,
started doing it.
correct.
I've been
Correct.
doing it for more than 10, 11 years, 12 years, I guess now. And it really has developed. I think that it's nice to be able to reach people from all around the world. And I know that's what you try to do with all of your work with your books, is to reach people all around the world. And you've had some really interesting different books. And I know that His Holiness the Dalai Lama actually wrote the prologue, I think, for one of your books. And you have incorporated different, soft skills and sutras and different things within your books. Now, what made you so interested in so many different topics? You've written, what, 40 books? How many books have you written? I'm curious how many books you've written.
Yeah, could you please repeat that question, if you don't mind?
How many books have you written?
About soft skills or in general?
In general, all of them.
So the thing is, I have written 52 books, but published only 40 books. Out of 40 books, around 6 books I have written about soft skills, because there is a huge demand for soft skills books across the world, and especially in India. So I have written books on soft skills. Even one more book is to be published very soon. Even I contributed a research paper to Emerald Journal, and that will be published within a month. So not only Emerald, many journals, they have published my intellectual contributions on soft skills. And there is a huge potential in the area of soft skills globally. And there are no educators who have done PhD in soft skills. Since I have done PhD in soft skills, it's certainly an asset for me. Not only that, after completion of my PhD also, I explored soft skills, and I still keep doing research on soft skills. And what I have done is that after completion of my PhD in soft skills, that is in 2011, I started, since I am passionate about leadership, having come from Indian Air Force. So what I did, I blended this leadership and soft skills. Then I have created a new leadership style, soft leadership. And this is a kind of leadership which is totally unconventional. I hope it will be highly appreciated by millennials, because the millennials are very brilliant and very smart generation. They are fed up with the old school of leadership styles. This is what the observation I have noticed during my leadership development training programs. Then I started doing research. So let me create some new leadership style, because most of the audiences are repeatedly telling that they are not happy with the conventional leadership styles. Then I did a little bit of research. Then I have coined soft leadership. Then I requested Dave Ulrich. I think you must be knowing him. He is the father of modern HR, Dave Ulrich. He gave one leadership code to that, and that's doing good. Even I have contributed some research papers on that soft leadership.
I teach so many courses in leadership, and a lot of them deal with servant leadership, Robert Greenleaf's principles, and a lot of it deals with there's so many areas to leadership. But I think that what I find interesting is the differences in generations. And I don't know, do you deal anything at all with that? Looking at millennials versus baby boomers. I don't know if those are terms you use so much in India as we use here, but the different generations, are you seeing that soft skills are embraced more by older or younger employees? And what does your leadership show for that?
See, I have authored one more book on millennials. That I have titled as Soft Leadership for Millennials. So what I have done is since I have done research on soft leadership, I thought that leadership can be applied for millennials. Even I conducted a workshop for 2 days in Malaysia last year. These millennials, they are very ambitious, and there's a gap between various generations, not only in America and European countries, across the world. Like baby boomers, like Generation X, these young people, they are the Gen Y or millennials. They are known with different names in various countries. So these millennials, they are highly demanding, and they are very impatient. They want to achieve success. So like that, I have found both plus and strengths and weaknesses. But I found more of strengths. So I wrote a book on millennials also. Now this soft leadership which I have created can be applied to bridge the gap among various generations like baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z will also join in the near future. Okay, and they'll be more brilliant. They'll much more brilliant than these millennials and Gen Y. So keeping all those things, I have created a new leadership style that can be used in such a way that can bridge the gap among various generations, so that there won't be much conflicts in the workplace, and they'll be able to work well as team, and they'll be able to achieve the organizational excellence and effectiveness.
Well, it is interesting to see how each generation progresses. And it seems like every generation finds something they don't like about the next generation. But I think that getting everybody to work together is going to be very important. And I was interested in your other work that you do. And I'm curious about your YouTube channel that you have, because I've seen you exercising on this station. What is that? Can you explain what you're doing on that channel?
Okay, I'll explain. It's a very interesting question you asked. I'm so happy. See, the thing is, I am from military background, first point. So right from the age of 15 onwards, I have been going to gym because I wanted to serve my country. Then, at the age of 15 onwards, I was going to gym. I was very lean, built, very short in height. So I was doing exercises when I was 15 years old. Then I joined Indian Air Force. After I left the Air Force also, I started going to gym. So daily 1 hour exercises I do, and then again 1 hour walking to the gym and coming back to the gym. So total 2 hours is the physical activity I do. So what happened, recently our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he started one slogan like "Hum fit to India fit." That means if we are all fit, I mean I will put it in English in this way: if all Indians are fit, India will be fit. That is the meaning in English. Okay, so the concept he has created is "Hum fit to India fit." That means in English, what we can say is, if Indians are fit, India will be fit. That's the slogan he has created. Okay, so I thought, since I am a fitness freak basically, and I enjoy doing a lot of physical activities every day. So I thought I should always set an example to my students, especially millennials. So I went to gym, took photos, then I started uploading in videos. So I'm getting good response because if you want to lead nowadays, if you simply preach, nobody will listen. You have to practice. That's what is said by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, most people preach, they don't practice. That is the problem. So what I thought, okay, since it's an opportunity given by Indian government, that is our India's Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, I thought, let me go shirtless. Then I took some photos, videos, all those. I started uploading, and my students, have got very good fan base, and they started liking. Some people they said, "Sir, why you are doing all these things? You are a professor." I said, "I am a professor at college, but outside the college, I am not a professor. It's my personal life. Anyhow, it is to encourage young people, because most of the young people, they have so many health complications in India. They are not health conscious. They are not taking care of fitness. So I thought, let me physically go to gym and upload photos and videos, so that youth get inspired. So that's how the journey of uploading my photos on YouTube and Instagram have started. That too recently only.
Well, I think that's great to get everybody in a much healthier in light. And I'm a health person too, so I can relate to that. But I was also looking at your bio, and it said you're part of the C-Suite Advisors Network. Are you associated with Jeff Hazlett's group then? Are you part of the C-Suite network that he has going, or is this something different?
No, I don't. I don't have any network in that way. Could you repeat that question? It was not clear.
there is a group here in the United States that Jeff Hazlett created called C-Suite Advisors, and I was wondering if you were part of that group.
No, I am not into that. I am not into that.
Yeah.
So what I have done is I have created Vision 2030. 1 million global leaders. This is the one I have coined. So my vision is to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030. Why I started this, I forgot to tell you when you asked about the generational gaps. These baby boomers are retiring, and these millennials are not equipped with leadership skills and abilities. So since I belong to Gen X, that means I am the bridge between baby boomers and millennials. So I thought it's a great opportunity that I can utilize my knowledge and skills for the betterment of global community. So I started my own vision that is titled as Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. That means by 2030, I want to build 1 million students as global leaders. This is the one I have created to build leadership skills among the youth. So that means since I fall into Gen X and baby boomers are retiring, there is a dearth of leadership talent globally. So to fill that gap, I thought this vision will work out. Unfortunately, I got an award also some 3 years back. This HR award I have got, and I was invited to come to United States, where Bill Clinton delivered a keynote address, but I couldn't go due to some personal problems. So this is the one I am into, which is a non-profit one. I want to build 1 million students as global leaders. I don't have any groups, and I didn't join in Marshall Goldsmith's that is MG100. So I have my own. It's like every leader, I build a team, and I create a core team of 50 leaders globally. At the end, then those people will be further building leaders. So that's what I thought, and I have set the vision some 6 years back. Then subsequently, Marshall Goldsmith also came out with his own pay forward scheme. That is everyone has to train, provide free coaching. So Marshall is aware of it. Even I told to Marshall that I also started much long ago, and it's a nice initiative you have started. And Marshall's that pay forward is highly successful globally.
Right. Well, Marshall's group is a very amazing group, and what he's doing of paying it forward and what you're doing, I think, is really important. And I think a lot of people could benefit from learning more about your work and reading about your books and finding out what you're doing. So I was wondering if you could share your website or information now for anybody who wants to find out more or to get in contact with you.
So it's very easy. My name is Professor M.S. Rao. M means motivation, S means success. So if anyone Googles Professor M.S. Rao, R-A-O, so what happens is they will find out my social media platforms. They can also find out Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. So they can subscribe where I keep posting articles regularly. Even I shared more than 200 posts on LinkedIn. I have got a good number of followers even on LinkedIn. I keep sharing my knowledge free. And recently I joined in Arianna Huffington's Time Global, and they are also publishing my articles frequently. So if anybody wants to acquire free knowledge from me, because I'm passionate about sharing my knowledge, because lifespan is limited, so I have to do my best to build a better world. So I keep sharing my knowledge morning to night. I keep sharing my knowledge through blogs and LinkedIn and various sites. So if they Google my name, Professor M.S. Rao, they will find Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. They will also find my YouTube. They will also find Twitter. They will find my LinkedIn. All the social media platforms are available. Whatever they like, they can follow. And if they want to acquire free knowledge, they can follow me on LinkedIn, where more than 200 articles are there. And they can follow my blog, Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders, where I have posted so many posts. Daily, I keep creating quotes and uploading on that Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Professor. You know, I really think that you publish a lot of great information on LinkedIn. I see so much that you're doing, and I think a lot of people could benefit from what you're working on. And I really thank you for being on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be part of your show. And really, I owe you a lot for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And we'll be back right after this message.